What's going on, man? I'm in my new spot, my new recording spot, man. You know who it is. It's Kilo, and we are back for another episode of the regular podcast on the regular network.
It's real.
What's his name again? Kilo?
Shout out my Kilo, man. Kilo in the mother building.
What's going on, people? What's going on, people? I'm now in an undisclosed location, right? I'm in my bedroom, actually. I'm in part of my bedroom. The bulk of the room is behind the camera. I'm over here in my little sitting area. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be my new recording spot for the time being. You know, doing some work around the crib, so I needed to clear my office out, you know, for some changes. How y'all been? How's everybody been? Please make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment your thoughts below. Share the video, please. If you have some time, please click on the link in the description for the survey. I would appreciate that. The people would appreciate if you did that. All right. So, but again, how was everybody's week? You know what I'm saying? A lot has been going on in this week in the news, and I would say in entertainment news. Well, the type of stuff I'm entertained by, right? There's been a lot happening in that news. One of the top things that's still being talked about a lot is the Diddy Reckoning documentary. That's still like the hottest topic in the news right now. It's probably going to be for a while because there are things that people want Diddy to be in jail for longer that are exposed in a documentary. But this week, it really seems like the more dominating story has been people talking about 50 Cent tearing down a black man, and different conversations, different arguments from different people discussing whether or not they agree with 50 doing a documentary, whether they thought he would do the documentary, whether he was right for doing it, wrong for doing it. So I'm seeing a lot of that, and I'm very interested in the takes I'm hearing. It's odd that we feel like we should protect all people, creeps or not, especially people who victimize black people. I look at it like essentially, you know how people might call somebody a coon, right, for doing something, for aligning with the wrong people. But I feel like if you have a history for 30, 20 years, 25 to 30 years of attacking black people for the most part, there's very few non-black victims when it comes to Diddy. Like, yeah, there are some people that are not black that he supposedly or allegedly victimized. But for the most part, all the victims, or for the most part, the majority of the victims have been black people. So that's not the type of person that we need to. I seen somebody say something about white people are on code when it comes to people like Jeffrey Epstein. So they think because white people protect their pedophiles, that black people are supposed to protect pedophiles. That don't make sense, and we don't operate like that. That's not a black thing. We don't, you know, sometimes black people do copy white people, but when it comes to protecting perverts and creeps and sexual predators, that's not a thing that we should be emulating, right? So it's very shocking stuff right now. Dame Dash went on some show. I don't know what show this was. It was him and four women, and they got into the conversation. And Dame pretty much felt like, being men from the street, he don't think that 50 Cent should have engaged in that type of behavior. Like, even if you have a problem with Diddy, you're supposed to see him and handle that problem outside of filmmaking, and especially outside of filmmaking to be passed over to a white-owned network such as Netflix. So that was Dame's stance. They asked Dame, hey, why did you say that Diddy wasn't going to make this documentary? He pretty much said, well, I only said it because I thought that he wouldn't do something like that, being a guy that comes from where he comes from. That's not why Dame said that. Dame said that he didn't think 50 Cent was making that Diddy documentary because he thought 50 was lying. He thought 50 was lying about being able to make the documentary. That's why he said that. Let me adjust my mic. Excuse me. He thought Diddy was lying. He thought 50 was lying about being able to do it. He thought 50 was lying about having access to some exclusive footage. That's all it was. Dame thought that he would have, you know, the most hot, you know, content that he created in the hip hop space. He didn't realize that 50 was serious about making this documentary because there's a lot of money in it. And why wouldn't 50? If 50 had access to that exclusive footage and he had been working on putting this documentary together for the last 6 months or however long it was, I don't know why you would have thought he was lying. It's not like 50 hasn't put out major projects before. So why would he lie about that? Now, I do think a lot of people thought 50 was joking. Like we couldn't really tell if he was serious or not. But Dame got into it with those 4 women that he was sitting with, and they pretty much started arguing. And Dame, doing what he does, he talked over him. He spoke over him. He didn't really let them get a lot of words in. And he kept on just saying, as men, you do X, Y, Z. And you don't tear down a black man. Now, my thing is this, right? When people say stuff about not tearing down a black man, I rarely see them tear down anybody else. Dame, for one, tears down a bunch of black men. That's just part of the. This mic is not staying up. It don't even it seems like it's a lot of tension, but it's not. But anyway, where is Dame at when it comes to tearing down? Dame, you have content networks and all that. You haven't put together no documentaries about no white men either. They say you got into it with Harvey Weinstein a long time ago, and yeah, you did call Harvey Weinstein out, but you didn't make it public back then. You didn't call him out publicly. And I haven't heard you really get at nobody like that since then. You got at Leor for the type of business he does, but you didn't point out all of the white pedophiles or perverts that you ran across in the music industry. So where's this whole we don't tear down a black? Why aren't you tearing down nobody else? I mean, not to say you have to, but I'm saying it's not as if you have taken on a taller task of tearing down some other people, because you really haven't. You know what I'm saying? Most of why people don't like you in the industry is because of what you was doing in the offices, running around yelling at people about stuff that, that nobody else agreed with you on. But you didn't let the public know who to stay away from or who not to support, or put together any type of hit pieces or documentaries or news articles or reports or movies or anything letting us know who was who on the white side. So I can't go for that. However, I don't just talk it. I live it. And remember I talked to y'all about that school, the Ursuline school, right? And they had a situation where there was hazing and the staff members were covering it up and trying to protect the football team and all this type of stuff. Well, it seems that something else has just come across my desk, right? They have a teacher out there. Let me pull this thing up. Give me a second. They have a teacher, and I've been informed, right? And I've been informed, I got this on good authority from one of the students, that this teacher, let me pull up his image. This teacher, Dr. Ream, right? Now, this is alleged. However, it was told to me by somebody that was in the class when this was going on. Dr. Ream was in the class having a conversation with the students. He's an English teacher, by the way, and he's in there talking to these kids about sex, right? Now, again, this is not health class. This is not sex ed. This is English, right? So he's talking to the kids about sex for a long time, according to what the kids were saying. He went on a long speech or rant or whatever it was about sex. And then he started to ask the kids about how they describe being horny. He wanted to know, hey, when y'all are horny, what do y'all say? That's what he wanted to know from these kids, right? Allegedly. This is what was told to me. So, excuse me. I said, okay, can I post this on the internet? I get the yes. I get the go ahead. Again, this is Ursuline High School in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm tapped in with Youngstown because that's where I'm from. I know parents. I know all type of stuff up there, right? So I get the go ahead. Yo, go ahead. You can post it. He's a nasty man, right? Allegedly, that's what they saying. So then I post this. I get a message request on Facebook just right before I was 9:00. I get a message request on Facebook. And this is what the message said. Give me a second. Let me pull this thing up. This is what the message said. Literally, I didn't alter this message, and this is not somebody that I don't even know this person right here. The person that this message came from, I don't even know them. They had to send me a request to get this message through, and I just so happened to read it. It says, about the Urslan guy, I go there and I have him as a teacher, and I literally was talking about the same incident with my friend a few days ago. A student from Urslan literally hit me up this evening to tell me that she's confirming it, like, yes, this happened, and me and my friends were just talking about this. Right? So she called it an incident. This is a she. I don't know her. I just got this message at 9 p.m. And my response was, did you talk to your parents? I said, that's insane. Did you talk to your parents about it? Or did you have a conversation with your parents about it? Right? Very respectful. This young person contacted me. Now, like, again, the person I got the information from was a boy. The boy left the class he felt very awkward, right? So, but he didn't, you know, his teenage boys, they didn't use the word awkward. He said weird. He said it was weird, right? That's the words he used. It was just weird, right? He didn't say uncomfortable. He didn't say any awkward or anything. He just said weird. But when I got wind of what the conversation was, I'm putting the rest of it on there, right? Other descriptive terms. But it was definitely about the kids being horny and how they describe it. It was definitely about sex in English class, right? And then this other person contacted me to say, pretty much confirming it and saying, we were just talking about this incident, right? So, Mr. Dr. Michael Ream, you need to figure out what you're about to do with yourself. I don't know, Ursula, clearly they don't mind this type of stuff. Clearly they don't mind. Okay. I'm controlling the mouse with my left hand, so it's a little bit off. Clearly Ursula don't mind, right? Now remember when I told y'all I posted about the situation with me and the teacher, and it had way more views than it had like likes and things, like people weren't engaging with it, but it was making its rounds, right? Let me give you the insights on this post also. This post that I have up there right now of Dr. Ream. It's a similar situation. A lot of people are seeing it, but they're like, whoa. They're not interacting with it. It only has 51 likes, 7 comments, 6 shares, and 4 bookmarks, right? But it has 26,000 views in the last few hours. Or since this morning. 26,000 views, but only 51 likes. So people are seeing it. People are whispering about it. People are talking about it. Again, if it's making its way to the students, who knows how many people have seen it? And I'm sure some calls have been made because people are now coming to me when they have something awkward to say about a teacher because of the stuff that I put out there about my old teacher. People are now coming to me with this information, right? And because of that, hey, I say, hey, look, you want me to put it out there? If they say yeah, it's going up. You understand? However anybody wants to handle it, we can handle it like that. I'm saying allegedly, but we have people confirming it that this conversation happened. I didn't say anything else about this man because I don't know anything else about him. He's an English teacher. His name is Dr. Michael Ream, and he had that conversation with those kids. That's just the facts of the situation. And those kids are telling people about the conversations, okay? Not just friends. They're passing it around. They want this guy to stop. They want him to stop, okay? So 50, Dame, or Dame, I'll say Dame because 50 seemed like he don't care. If you're going to say don't tear down no black man, do y'all don't know nobody else y'all could put out there to expose like that? There's plenty of people out here to expose, right? It's easy. I'm not hiding. It is what it is. If the kids report you, there's another situation that might be coming too, and it might be a little bit worse. And I'm getting word that a teacher at East Middle at East Middle School runs down on this kid. Let me take this white man's picture off my. Within the last couple of weeks, East Middle School, they have a student, they have a student who a teacher told, well, the teacher said this to the student. He said, allegedly, this is what I was told. The teacher said, hey, does your mom look like you? The girl says, yes. This is a male teacher. He says, if your mom looks like you, tell her to holler at me. Pretty insinuating that he likes the way she looks, and if her mom looks like her, he want her. Right? All of this with a back rub. Right? This is what I'm hearing. This is what comes to me. I'm not gonna put that teacher's name out there yet because I need to find out a little bit more. So the student tells the principal. And one of the principals says, okay, just don't go back to his class. So for the last few weeks, this student hasn't been going to this teacher's class, but they have not done anything or punished that teacher in any way. They just told the girl to stop going to his class. The reason I don't like that, right, is because so now the student felt awkward, the student told, and instead of removing the person that they're saying, violated, they just tell the student, no, you don't go in there no more, right? Now what happens then? We don't have any documentation of what's going on. They just told the student don't come in here. So now if he decides to say, okay, well, this child fails this class now because they're not coming in here, the child won't be protected by anything because there's no documentation. They just told her don't go back in there. That's not the way you handle a situation like that. There should be an investigation, but there wasn't one. So it seems that just like the old days when people weren't protecting the kids from weirdos, it seems like the cycle is continuing. And the person allegedly that was told about what the teacher said and did was a woman, a middle-aged woman. So you hear about a little girl getting violated and you just tell her, you just don't go back in there. One of her classes on her schedule, you're telling her, don't go in there. Come on. What is this? What's going on here? When I get more information on that one, I'll let y'all know about that. But it's just some craziness going on, man. But Youngstown, please get it together, man. It's not cool. Too many unprotected kids out here, and it's just crazy. So we're gonna see, man. I guess I'm gonna have to be the one to do the documentary on teachers. You know what I'm saying? Because I got experience with it. So I'm gonna have to be that person to do the doc. And people, listen. So now I'm telling you that because I got the go ahead to talk about this stuff. When I had posted my stuff with the teacher, a bunch of people hit me in my DMs telling me about situations they had with teachers and other adults and stuff like that. So it's there's a lot more stories that can be told. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't want to do it, but it seems like I might have to. Now it's after midnight right now, right? I'm just gonna tell y'all something. Let's break the fourth wall real quick. It's after midnight, and the reason I'm recording so late is because I was putting my oldest daughter, getting her ready to go to bed, right? And I first of all saw a vehicle drive down my street. It hit the cul-de-sac, came back down, but I see the back light. It's a U-Haul, a little 10-foot U-Haul, right? I see the back lights, the brake lights of the U-Haul. It looked like they had the hazard lights on or something, flashing off the street in front of my house, like directly in front of my house. So I look out there, and I'm like, yo, this U-Haul is sitting in front of my mailbox. It was like 9 to 10 o'clock at night. A U-Haul, a little small U-Haul sitting in front of my crib, right? So I turn, I get it dark upstairs, and I'm looking out the window, but my computer screens is so bright. I'm looking out the window trying to see what's going on while this U-Haul is in front of my joint. To me, it felt like they saw me looking out the window and then drove off. I'm a little paranoid. I'm a little overly paranoid. So it just really took me like 3 hours 2 hours to really get calm enough to start recording. You see what I'm saying? I don't even like being in the mindset like that, but I just, because of how my mind worked, I just couldn't stop looking. I had to make sure everything was cool, because now I'm feeling like, yo, somebody thought that this house was empty because it looked dark, and they thought that they was gonna come U-hauled up, bust through the door, fill a truck up, and get on, right? I'm not understanding why the youngsters think, like, they come up with these idiotic ideas, and it almost never goes the way they think it's gonna go. You see what I'm saying? It almost never goes that way. So I just don't. I just really hope, for their sake, that that's not what was going on. Hopefully my paranoia is just making me think like the old days and all this type of stuff. Hopefully it's just my paranoia, and hopefully they was just sitting out there trying to recalibrate the GPS so that they could find directions to where they was going, right? But a U-Haul at 10 o'clock at night in a residential neighborhood like this, it's no through traffic. You know what I'm saying? There's only one way in, one way out this neighborhood. They wasn't trying to get nowhere else. I saw it because, I wasn't even really paying attention to the U-Haul like that. But I happened to be walking past my foyer window and see them driving up the hill and turn around immediately and come right back down. So I did see that, even though I wasn't paying attention. I didn't start really focusing on them until I seen that they was in front of my house. You understand what I'm saying? So that just sent me. So it just heightened. It just had my amygdala going crazy a little bit. And so it took me a while. If my energy is low, I don't think it is, but if it is low, it's because of that. Excuse me, had to mute real quick. If it is low, it's because it's after midnight and I'm recording, because I had to make sure everything was everything. And I've been, man, listen, I tried to make this thing. I do not want to bring harm. Hold up. I don't want to bring harm to any black people. That's what I'm hardcore not on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to do it again. You see what I'm saying? But this is Atlanta, and pretty much, it's all about proximity. Because it's Atlanta, anybody essentially that's going to be around you to do anything to you is going to be black, because it's just a city of black people. If I lived in freaking Sewanee, then the people that probably be breaking in the houses probably be little crackhead white dudes. But down here in the city, you got to deal with the young boys, right? So I'm really hoping that it was just a little little GPS error. You see what I'm saying? The back of the U-Haul was cracked a little bit, almost like they was just about to hop out, run through, or do what they thought they was gonna do. And come on, man, youngsters, get your mind right. I don't want, listen, just come on. I don't want to. I ain't trying to. Come on, leave me alone. Stay away from me. You understand? This ain't even that type of neighborhood. We ain't even here for all that. But I don't want nobody finding out the hard way. Oh man, I ain't have drug and alcohol issues because I couldn't deal with doing something to somebody. You see what I'm saying? The whole substance abuse and all that come from just not wanting to be around people and having to cope with the anxiety being around people. It wasn't because of feeling bad or guilty or couldn't sleep from hurting nobody. It wasn't for that. You see what I'm saying? And I don't really want to tap back into none of that. You see what I'm saying? So, look, I don't. Leave me alone. All right. Now, the biggest thing that I've been being entertained by this past week has been the battle rap event that I talked to y'all about a week and a half ago. Cassidy versus Eazy, the Block Captain, on TBL, Takeover Battle League. Listen, this has been like the most entertaining, hectic, drama-filled week in battle rap since, let me see. This might have been the most drama-filled week in battle rap probably since the fight happened with Murder Mook, Tay Rock, Briz Rothstein, T-Top, Calico, and all them. Like this is probably the most drama-filled battle rap week since then, honestly. And this is probably more hectic than that because of some hometown beef stuff going on. So Cassidy versus Eazy, the Block Captain, they were set to battle last Saturday, right? So they got there. They started the battle, right? Eazy rapped first, then Cassidy rapped. I had Cassidy winning just because of I thought his angles being fresh, I thought was enough to edge, right? I know Eazy is like, or a lot of people are like, Cassidy didn't say nothing and he was still rapping slow and all that. He was rapping slow, but he had angles that take him over the top against Eazy, right? To me, Eazy's whole thing about update him, that was like cool. It was creative, but it wasn't like it wasn't a bar. There was no bars in that. You see what I'm saying? So if we're going like bars versus bars, it's a wash because neither one of them really had no complex bars. So you have to go by the angles. And Cassidy's angle was way better. So then Eazy started his second round. Eazy started rapping his second round. And pretty much immediately, I'm saying started his second round. Pretty much immediately when his second round started, it was chaos. Because Cassidy ended up pushing him back saying, yo, you spitting in my face. Eazy said, this is how I rap. Cassidy like, yo, if you keep spitting in my face, I'm going to punch you on yours. Eazy say, I'm going to beat you the F up. So then they never really recovered. Cassidy said, yo, just rap from back there. Back up and rap. Eazy is like, I don't rap. I'm not rapping back here. And I'm really going to be up on you the whole time now because you're telling me to back up. I'm definitely not doing nothing you tell me. Eazy has these big security guards with him. He got a few people with him. Cassidy has pretty much all of Philly with him. And he also has bodyguards in there. Chaos is going crazy, right? I'm not going to use their clips, their videos, but you can hear people in the background behind Cassidy saying, we got it in here. It's in here. It's in here. That's what a famous battle rapper from Philly is saying in the video. It's in here. We got it in here with us. Letting Eazy's side know if anything gets tricky, it ain't gonna be fists going on. It's gonna be shells dropping. That's pretty much what they was letting them know, right? So, excuse me. So Eazy's security pretty much whisked him away, right? Because look, if you see the video footage, Cassidy was standing in the same spot for a long time. Even when all the commotion happened, Cassidy's standing in the same spot. Eazy is across the room now, though. His security moved him across the room, which I respect because that's their job is to protect Eazy. And if you hear these guys over there talking about shooting, like, why would you just let Eazy stand there trying to prove how tough he is? Like, nah, get him safe, get him out the way. Because these guys already have a grudge with Eazy for different things. There's different people that were in the building that have issues with Eazy for different reasons. It wasn't just because of this Cassidy battle. They were just holding Cassidy down. It wasn't that. There's people in there with their own issues with him. Reed himself is from Philly, got his own crew there. Because Reed was supposed to battle that night. He actually did battle that night against Cortez. So he got a crew too that's there. And they're not all rappers. Everybody that come with these people are not rappers. So there was a lot of tension in the building. Reed and Eazy had got into it a few days before the battle. So Eazy security quickly get him out the way. Move, and then eventually after some more arguing going on, well, really it wasn't no argument between the battlers because they were nowhere near each other at this point. Next thing you know, Eazy security take him pretty much out the building, right? Excuse me. Cassidy is just standing there. So eventually the host get on the mic and say, that's it, battle over, it's done. We're not doing this, it's over, there's too much going on, we out of here. So, I mean, a lot happens in the middle of that, but that's the gist of it. At some point, they try to start battling. There's a lot of talk on social media, right? Eazy is saying, yo, I'm trying to battle him now. Cassidy is saying, I want to battle him. We here at the next location. So TBL came up with a second location for the guys to show up. Cassidy showed up there. He got out the car. He was at the venue ready to battle. Eazy came too, but he never got out his truck. He was parked across the street. The reason I know this is because Hip Hop Is Real owner, Knowledge, was filming out there. He filmed Eazy in his truck. So while Eazy is on Twitter tweeting about the fact that he's saying yes and Cassidy saying no, Cassidy is on video literally standing outside the venue saying he's ready to rap, and he's there. Like, Cassidy is outside and there ready to rap. Eazy just won't get out the truck though. So they say Eazy is in the truck with his 2 security, and Eazy keep on telling Cassidy that he's not going to rap with him unless he gets rid of all the people that's with him, right? Pretty much saying he wanted to be just him, Eazy and his security, and Cassidy and his security. He don't want all the Philly in there with them, right? That's what Eazy is saying. So Eazy ended up driving off. It's not going to happen at night. Reed and Cortez end up battling inside the building. Cassidy is the host of the battle. So that tell you that Cassidy is not the one that left. Cassidy is not the one that was scared to come in the building with all these people. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird that, excuse me, it's weird that Eazy is saying he didn't want to battle in front of them. When he was in the first venue, Cassidy had, the ratio was the same. Cassidy had the majority of that building. Most of those people were there to see Cassidy anyway, so the ratio was still, you was outnumbered no matter where you rapped at. So it's odd that he was like taking this angle of, I had 40 niggas with me that don't rap, and nobody was going to do nothing. They only came there to make sure I was safe and all that. But then when he get to the next venue, it's only him and security. I don't know why, if these people came just to make sure you were safe, and they find out that there's 40 people somewhere else, why wouldn't they come to the next venue to make sure you safe still there? So that whole thing didn't make sense. And I don't even know if he was saying that he had 40 people with him that wasn't rappers. They don't even know nothing about battle rap, and they was just there for the bullshit completely. I don't even believe that, because at no point in any of the videos that was out there and blogs and any of it do you see Eazy with any type of crowd of people besides his security. That's really who, like, you don't see him congregating with these 40 friends that he got that's there to make sure he's safe. And you don't see that at all. There's nowhere where these people are at to make sure he's safe. You see what I'm saying? Not just, all right, they could have been there, but he on camera never interacted with these people. Like, and he left them. And then they left him because I'm there to make sure you're good. But now we about to go to an even more dangerous situation, because we're going to the second location where TBL probably has even less control, because it wasn't scheduled ahead of time. They would have even less control, and they didn't come with you there to make sure that you were safe. I don't understand it, but that's his story, and he's sticking to it. Cool. So Eazy leaves. He said, I'm not battling him with all those people there. Cassidy said, he did an interview afterwards like, yo, you have no shot at telling me that my friends, I ain't seen some of these people in a long time. I got family here. People done flew in here to see me battle. I'm not about to tell them that they got to leave because you can't, because you scared, because you said so. Like, that's not happening. So Cassidy is on it pretty much like, yo, Cassidy still wants to battle Eazy. Eazy still want to battle Cassidy. But Cassidy is saying he don't have to. Cass is like, I don't even got to do this. I upheld my end of the bargain. I wasn't the reason that the battle got canceled. I didn't leave. He left the venue, and then he didn't show up to the second venue. Cass is like, I'm doing this off the love of the culture, but I don't have to do it, and I'm not going to keep on playing with y'all. So y'all set this date and let's battle, and stop letting him control what's going on. He was like, or are we going to really play ball? Pretty much Cass is saying, y'all going to be stuck. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of interviews going on right now. Cassidy is still dominating the talking. Eazy does as good as he can do when it comes to like shit talking and all that. But Cassidy is a legendary shit talker, hip hop shit talker. Before he came back into battle rap, he was known for his shit talk anyway. Right. So Eazy is a little outmatched. Not a little. He's very outmatched when it comes to the shit. Nobody can shit talk with Cass. Right. Only thing you can hope to do is like call him broke and he don't seem to be affected by that. So, you know, shit talking is Cass's sport. That's his thing. And then it takes another turn, right? My bad for the people that ain't into battle rap like that, but I'm heavy into it, so I'm gonna talk about this. It takes another turn. During Cassidy's first round, he says some stuff about Eazy's mom, right? Still being on crack. And he also says, your brother's a rat. In Pottsville, is some dudes that want him dead right now because he got people locked up. He's a rat. During the battle, Eazy says, who is that? Like he don't know who he is, right? In the battle, Cassidy says, your brother Keem. Stop acting like you don't know who the F that is. Keem, your brother, right? Eazy goes on Spaces with a verb and says, Cassidy, y'all just letting Cassidy make stuff up. He talking about my brother a rat. Where's the paperwork? This is what Eazy says the day after the battle. Where's the paperwork? He's lying. He's making up stuff. Where's the paperwork? This is what Eazy is telling us, the people. Eazy's younger brother comes out and confirms that their baby brother is indeed an informant or has been an informant, a rat. He snitched, right? It's confirmed by this. So there's three of them. Eazy's the oldest. There's a middle one. There's a younger one. The younger one is the one they saying told. The middle one confirmed it, right? So this middle brother, his name is Dante, right? Dante supposedly is a real street dude in Philly, right? You know, been in and out, involved in whatever. So it comes out, he comes out, confirms it, but he said he was really doing the interview just to clear up his mom's name because people was talking about causing bodily harm to their mom, and he felt like Eazy wasn't defending his mom properly. So he came out and defended his mom. That was his stance, right? So then Eazy does a live video and he talking shit about his brother, and his brother comes back and does an hour-long joint, and he let Eazy have it. I don't know how Eazy is going to come back from the stuff his brother said about him, honestly. If y'all are into that type of stuff, you need to go watch it. I don't know how Eazy comes back from the stuff that his brother Tay said about him, right? I don't know how. I mean, all of his facade about anything in the streets, all this money he was making in the streets, not being a liar, being tough, people not just smacking him around, beating him up, it's out the window now. All out the window now. You used to call your little brother to come fight for you when somebody put their hands on you. You can't talk, you can't say certain stuff no more. Honest, I'm serious. You can't even act like you're trying to get the papoose. Because we know that's fake. We know that you want to be around papoose so you can have your security guards, paid, hired security guards, do something to him. Because at this point, nobody's going to believe that you're actually willing and able to do something to defend yourself against people. So what I got was, when I listened to the guy Tay, they call him Tay the Block Captain. When I listened to this Tay guy speak, it seems to me like his issue with Eazy, because they fell out a couple years ago. His issue with Eazy does not seem to be about him hating on Eazy. I don't think he's hating on Eazy. I think he's mad that Eazy is allowing battle rap to make him look soft and weak and like a hoe, right? Because he knows that Tay was the muscle. He was the enforcer of their little crew that they had, right? So I think that the brother is pretty much like, yo, I think he wishes that Eazy called him to handle some of these situations that he ran into in battle rap, because Eazy has just been getting holed around in battle rap the whole time, right? So to me, that's the energy I'm getting. I'm getting the energy of, yo, Eazy, you pretty much bringing shame to our name. You embarrassing us. Like, call me for help. Like, you still need my help. I know you're trying to act like you don't need help now because you got Remy, but you still need my help. You still can't fight. You still a hoe. You still a bit. Like, he was getting at him crazy. And he was even mad at Eazy for getting security, because he like, yo, same thing Cassidy said. Why do you have security? Nobody's trying to. Tay said the same thing Cassidy said. Nobody's trying to do anything to you. The only person that wanted to put hands on you was Papoose because you were smashing his wife. That's it. And that's over. You don't need security. That's what the brother's saying. The brother's saying you look extra soft getting security because somebody punched you in the face. None of these other battle rappers want to do anything to you. Man, it's bad. It's bad, man. I'm going to give a shout out, right? Because I never was watching this channel before. But since this stuff with Cassidy and Eazy got ramped up last week or a week and a half ago, I started watching that Polo World channel. Polo, part of Black Compass Media. I never watched him before, but I followed him on Twitter. But I never watched his YouTube channel. But now I'm tapped in. Like, his reactions is the funniest to me. So I'm watching his reactions. The interview he did with Cassidy. Cassidy went crazy. People saying that that's like a top 5 Cassidy interview ever. Like, Cass went off. Right? And now everybody's trying to figure out, how did Cassidy know all this information about Eazy? Because clearly the brother probably didn't tell Cassidy this stuff, because the brother is mad at Cass too. He's not saying nothing favorable about Cassidy. Right? So it's like, who from their side, who from Eazy's side passed Cassidy all of this extremely accurate information? You would think that if they're going to give Cassidy some info, they're going to give him bad information so he can make himself look stupid in the battle. That's not what they did. They gave him all the information about Eazy and his family. And now it's actually spilling out into Eazy's family life. Like, now Eazy and his brother are publicly beefing because of something that Cassidy said in a round. And a lot of people after the fact are saying, wow, based on Eazy's brother's interviews, they're now saying Cassidy clearly destroyed Eazy now in the first round, because everything he said is being confirmed. You see what I'm saying? I had Cassidy winning anyway the first round. And I thought that Eazy would get the second and third, but we never got to see that. But now, after all of this, it's going to be extra hard for him to make this make sense now. It's almost like he should have just went in that room with them at the second venue and rapped. After I watched the setting of the Reed and Cortez battle, that crowd seemed fair anyway. Like, they were showing Cortez love. He was talking big shit to Reed. They were showing Cortez love. Eazy should have went in there and battled. You know what I'm saying? Because some of those people, like they even said, Cassidy had a bunch of rappers with him. So some of them people wasn't in there. They wasn't going to do nothing to you anyway. So, and some of them were neutral. Like, Freeway was in there. Freeway was in there for Philly. He was on Cassidy's side because he knows Cassidy, but he was in there for Philly. He wasn't going to do nothing to you. Cicero was in there for Philly. He was on Cassidy's side, but he wasn't going to do nothing to you. Eazy wasn't going to do nothing to you. These people wasn't trying to hurt you. They was just with Cassidy because they know Cassidy. I heard Rosenberg Raw. Shout out to him, because his content been funny too on this topic. Rosenberg said he didn't understand why Ness jumped, because Ness was in the middle of some of this stuff, right? He was like, why would Ness jump in the middle of that? He like, you and Cassidy ain't even that close. I don't know y'all to be that close. Now that tells me you ain't been up on your Philly history like that. And you somebody that keep talking about that's part of your city, you from Norristown, but you're not up on your history in Philly, your music or rap history in Philly, if you don't know about Ness and Cassidy. Ness and Cassidy go back decades. I know for a fact, for sure, a video of a Cassidy freestyle video that got uploaded from my crib on YouTube, the biggest Cassidy freestyle video on the internet. Like 7.5 million views. My man Zeke uploaded it. That video, Cassidy is rapping in a trap house. Ness is with him the whole time. He's in that video with him. That's 20 years ago. Ness came out in an interview and said, me and Cassidy went to high school together. They're the same age, like they're around the same age. So for you to not know the history between them two, and you rep Philly, but you from Norristown, but you rep Philly, you get in Philly business, you should have known that. That's his guy. Ness is Cassidy's guy, right? So I don't know why you said that, but Rosenberg is funny. So I think Rosenberg should keep talking. The stuff he's saying about the top 5 Philly ever, like, he's wrong about that. I think Eazy would have benefited the most from battling that night. I think that he should probably avoid Cassidy now, and I don't know how he's going to deal with Twerk after all this is out. I don't know how he's going to deal with Twerk after all this is out, and he need to stay far away from Sue Surf. When Sue Surf come home, stay away from him. Math Hoffa, you probably want to stay away from Math Hoffa too. It's after this, I don't know who you should battle. You should finish up the battles you got on the contract. I seen somebody say you should leave, take a break, come back, you know what I'm saying, let the people miss you and then come back. I think I agree with that. Leave Sue Surf alone. Leave Math Hoffa alone. If I was you, I would leave this Cassidy shit. Leave Cassidy alone. Somebody on your side gave him too much information about you, and it's causing earthquakes in your world. Leave him alone, man. All right, y'all. I'm back. It's the next day right now. It's Saturday now. I'm back recording. All right. So an update. You heard me talk about something earlier in the episode, right? Where I was talking about the U-Haul truck. So what I realized was happening, I was having what's called a paranoia attack, right? I just had to look this up. You know how people have panic attacks? I was having a paranoia attack. Let me read to y'all what a paranoia attack is, right? And this is not, it says a paranoia attack isn't a formal diagnosis, but describes a sudden, intense episode where you feel extreme, irrational fear and suspicion, believing others intend to harm, even with no real threat, often triggered by stress, lack of sleep, or substance use, and can involve heightened distrust, misinterpreting harmless events as malicious, and feeling persecuted. Okay, so if you heard how I was describing what was going on last night, that was even a couple hours after it happened because it took me some time to calm down enough to even record, right? So pretty much what was going on is I get up in the morning after thinking like, yo, somebody's plotting on my house, right? Because they pulled up outside with the U-Haul. They thought they was going to run in here, get something. You know what I'm saying? They ran into the wrong house, right? I see there's a large package on my front porch, right? Large package. And I realized, oh, they came here last night to deliver a package. Yes, it might be suspicious in the U-Haul truck, but it's not really suspicious when you understand that people contract out. They take shipping and freight jobs. Sometimes they don't have vehicles large enough for the packages that they need to move, so they'll rent a vehicle. So I was just really tripping. That's why it says irrational. It's irrational fear, irrational suspicion. And when I get like that, and I've been like that many times, but never normally like around and related to the podcast. So I never had to discuss it before. But it was like, I'm not even gonna lie, I pretty much spent the whole night looking out the window because I was, you know what I'm saying? I was in like war mode. And I don't like being on defense. That's my thing. You see what I'm saying? I like offense. I don't like being on defense. I mean, I can do defense, you understand? But I don't like it. When I have to do defense, is my adrenaline is up for long periods of time. So I don't like that feeling. And then really what was going on last night wasn't even it wasn't defense. It was me really tripping. So I just wanted to give y'all the update on that. Nothing was happening. It was me, my head, you know what I'm saying? Still got some unresolved things, you know what I'm saying? I'm in therapy. The first thing I worked on in therapy was like socialization. So there's another part that I got to work on still, clearly. That's the paranoia part. The part where I feel like somebody trying to get at me. You see what I'm saying? Maybe I feel like I deserve to be gotten at. Maybe whatever it is. Excuse me. I'm still that part I got to figure out still. All right. So that's the update on that situation. Shout out to y'all for making it past the last conversation and getting to this conversation. Now, Fawn Weaver. Let's talk about Fawn Weaver. Is anybody familiar with Fawn Weaver? Fawn Weaver is the lady who owns and operates Uncle Nearest, the whiskey company. So Uncle Nearest, the whiskey company, their story is pretty much, hey, our great-great-great-great-great-grandfather or uncle taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. So the Jack Daniels recipe is really our family's recipe. It's our uncle's recipe. And they took it and made a big multi-billion-dollar company with it, right? That's the Uncle Nearest story. So Fawn Weaver is the founder of that company, or one of the founders, right? But she's going viral right now because she decided that it would be a good idea. Well, she had a bottle signing event where I'm at, like a liquor store that I actually go to and shop at. And the liquor store that I actually have purchased Uncle Nearest from. It's Camp Creek. It's the Camp Creek liquor store, whatever, Camp Creek Marketplace liquor, whatever it is called. It's like 8 minutes from my house, 10 minutes from my house, right? So that's where I go when I'm in the Camp Creek area and buying some liquor. She did a bottle signing there, and this event was for her to pretty much promote the brand, reach out to her fans. She has fans, and, just show support to the people that support her, right? So she's out there, and she goes viral because a man walks up to her and says, pretty much, I remember you. Do you remember me? We went to school together. But instead of me talking through it, we're going to just watch this and break it down because it's a thing, right? It's a thing, and we need to really get into this thing. Give me a second.
Man, thank you
I want
so
us to
much
really get into this. All right, so before she even gets to this gentleman that in question, she's talking to a few other people.
Man, thank you so much for being personable. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
Peaches.
Every question is
Okay,
Thank
come
you
on.
so much.
Peaches.
Nice to meet
Okay.
you. I wanna get a
He's
picture.
gonna put. Okay, we're gonna do. You're gonna hold this.
Thank you.
We're gonna put it in the car. Okay. She's got it. She's taking it. She's taking it. Okay. Is this your camera?
No, that's not my
Oh,
camera.
where's your
Nobody has
camera?
my camera. Yeah.
The fact that she wanted a picture and didn't even have her own photo device out. Wow. Okay, let's go.
Thank you. That's even better. Thanks. Thank you so much. Anybody? Yep, that's fine. Thank you so much, Ms. Weaver.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
supporting all of us.
absolutely.
I
Hey,
appreciate
sis.
Excuse me.
I'm a
What you
fan
got?
because
Oh.
I am the
I'm gonna skip through this part. This is another interaction she had. It went well. It was a little odd, but I mean, clearly the lady is a fan and she didn't have a problem with it, and Miss Weaver didn't have a problem with it. So I'm not gonna put a problem where a problem is not at. These are just awkward interactions. Let's go forward. All right, because you'll see that she's probably getting a little bit, Miss Weaver is probably getting a little antsy because she's actually there to go greet the people. She's walking through to go greet the people that are standing in a long line. There's a lot of people in a long line, but you can't even see them because all of these people right here, they pretty much keep stopping her before she can get to what she's trying to do. This what she's doing right here is not what she came here to do, right? She's trying to get to her people, right? Let's keep going. All right, so this guy is the city attorney in Conyers, I think, or Stonecrest. They're just taking a picture. Okay, so watch as she comes away from this guy. That's when things start to fall apart. Here you go.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support.
take a selfie with you.
Very quickly, because I got to get in there.
There we go.
All right.
Good to see
All
you.
right, yeah. No, come on. Hello. How are you?
Okay, first, something is going on here. She yells no. Like, she's yelling no out first, soon as she see the guy.
All right.
Good to see
All
you.
right, yeah. No, come on. Hello. How are you?
Okay, you heard him say, do you remember me? Do you remember me? She already yelled no at him. You remember me? Do you remember me?
We were just in the same class in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Washington Bears.
So I'm.
He said we was just in the same class in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, Washington Barrett, right? She says, am I supposed to remember you? Hold on, here you go.
Washington Bears.
So I'm supposed to remember you because we.
You, Naeem.
Okay. Can I tell?
Now, this is where it goes left, right? She just completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. The man is trying to explain where he knows her from. Me, you, and Naheem. So he's pretty much saying, we were a crew. Me, you, Naheem, we were a crew. This is why I think you should remember me from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, because we were part of the same crew.
We were just in the same class in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Washington Bears.
So I'm supposed to remember you because we.
You, Naeem.
Okay, can I tell y'all that this man just said, do you remember me? I said, make it make sense to me. He said, we were in the same class in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Now, somebody please tell me, why did that need to be announced to the whole, there was a line of like 100 people, right? Why she had to yell it out, projectile vomit this thing out and yell it to the whole crowd. He's trying to tell her something, pretty much trying to be discreet because he's like kind of talking under his breath a little bit directly to her in her face so that she can recognize him. She's clearly not recognizing him, which I agree. I mean, not I agree, but I believe her when she says she don't know who he is, right? I don't think she would have done this had she known him. Now, let's just say he was some guy back in the day that actually was mean to her or a bully, and she wanted to get back. She wanted to get revenge on him, so she wanted to embarrass him in front of everybody. I think that would have been a better explanation for this than the explanation she gave, and we'll get into that. But I don't think that's the case. I think she don't recognize him, but she just decided, I'm about to put him on blast, right? Let me go back because I'm talking through the whole thing.
No, come on. Hello, how are you?
We were just in the same class as 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Washington Bay.
So I'm supposed to remember you because
you Naeem?
Okay, can I tell y'all that this man just said, do you remember me? I said, make it make sense to me. He said we were in the same class in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Cassidy, Jamar, me, you, Naeem, and Sharice.
Me, you, Naheem, and Sharice. That's the crew. When he say me, you, he's not naming the whole class. He's saying this was our crew. This is our squad right here. Me, you, Naheem, and Sharice. This lady don't remember none of them. We was a crew for 3 years. How you don't remember us? 6th grade, you about 12 years old. 12 to 13, depending on when your birthday is in the year. 12 years old. 7th grade, 12 to 13. 8th grade, 13 or 14 years old for a lot of people, right? Those are the years where you start to remember the friends that you had, especially if you had them for 3 years, especially if y'all were a crew. Me, you, Naheem, and Sharice.
That part, he's being serious, though. Are you being serious? I do not. I'm sorry.
She stood next to him so that they could see his face, point at him. He's being serious, though. Are you being serious?
No, I don't remember the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th grade.
Well, we were in the same class.
Okay.
Me, you, and
well,
Naeem.
it's nice to meet you.
Yo.
Yo. Hello.
I'm out.
Okay.
All right. A few things. The way he walked up on her, we could tell something. We could tell a few things here. This man has definitely been telling all his friends for the last 10 years, hey, Fawn Weaver, that used to be my homegirl. We was close, and she blew up. Look how he was proud of her. He was proud of her. He was proud to tell people that was his friend. That's shattered now. Now he can never say that again because he ran up on a lady. She didn't even remember him, and she embarrassed him. Golly. Excuse me. Damn. I want y'all to see something right quick. Watch this.
All right, y'all. No, come on. Hello, how are you?
We were just in the same class as 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Washington Bay.
So I'm supposed to remember you because
you Naeem?
Okay, can I tell y'all that this man just said, do you remember me? I said,
Look at this. Oh. Hold on. It's hard to see now because my thing won't go away. My little sound, my bar won't go away. Hold on. Damn, you can't even you can't see what I'm trying to show y'all. What I'm trying to show y'all is he's holding the bag from the liquor store, right? He went shopping in that liquor store. He's holding the bag. That bag is Uncle. That's the shape of an Uncle Nearest bottle. He actually went in there, spent his money, thought he was gonna have his old friend sign his bottle, and she did him like that, right? So the interaction is what it was. It was embarrassing. A lot of people did not agree with it. The blogs were some of the first people to pick it up. They showed it. Pretty much the whole blog comments was dogging her. They wasn't going for it, right? They weren't happy about it. They said, who is this lady? I don't like her personality. Why would she talk to him like that? She could have said, I don't remember you, without yelling it out to the whole crowd, which is very awkward. I have no idea why she thought that was the idea. Let me do it one more time, because that was crazy.
No, come on. Hello, how are you?
We were just in the same class as 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Washington Bears.
So I'm supposed to remember you because we.
You, Naeem.
Okay, can I tell y'all that this man just said, "Do you remember me?" I said, make it make sense to me. He said we were in the same class in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Pasadena, Jamon, me, you, Naeem, and Sharice.
That part.
He's being serious though. Are you being serious? I do not. I'm sorry. No, I don't remember the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th grade.
Well, we were in the same class.
Okay.
Me, you, and
Well,
Naeem.
it's nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yo. Hello.
Here we are. I'm out.
Okay. All right.
Man, sick, very sick. But I'm gonna tell you. Okay, let's get to some of the comments. Right, let's get to some of the comments. They put her on a Summer Jam screen. I'm not gonna lie to you, and she deserved it because that was idiotic what she did there. Okay, this is Jazzy Fizzle Product Shizzle. He says she has no idea what good character is about. I deal with these scenarios often. When you're influential in your community or just memorable, then obviously people remember you, good or bad. Just remember that memories last. Now this is Jazzy Faye is from Tennessee. This lady is repping Tennessee. Her brand is based out of Tennessee. So I'm assuming that he came across her a few times. He don't like it. He says she has no idea what good character is about. That's more than just. He's not just talking about this interaction right here. He's talking about he's fed up with the lady, right? He's fed up with her. She don't even know what good character is about. That's a heavy statement right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a heavy one. Let me see. Let's see what else we got here for y'all. This person said, all right, hold on. Let me go through these real quick because there was one that I needed. I need y'all to, okay, I think this is the one here. Here we go. Now let me read one of her responses here for y'all, right? Let me make this bigger so that people can read along if they need to. If I'm not reading at the pace that you want me to read at, then you can read along. This is one of her responses because they was getting at her. She said, I think this is the part some folks are missing. He walked in my path as I clearly said I was trying to get to those who were waiting in line. There was no greeting, no smile, stood in inches from my face. Let's see. That was an uncomfortable moment. I tried to make lighthearted. Now, would I do it that way again? Of course not. After seeing the video and responses to it that clearly triggered a lot of black men. But in that moment, it felt lighthearted, and those in the crowd found it to be a lighthearted moment. We laughed, I hugged everyone, started in the back, and then proceeded to sign bottles and take pics for the next 4 hours. The part that threw me, of course not. After seeing the video and responses to it, it has clearly triggered a lot of black men. Why you felt the need to single that out when all the comments are anti what you did? Not just the black men, but because so now she's thinking that her supporters are black women and that black women are the reason that she is where she is. And then the black men are the ones taking it out of context and don't actually support her, but are just offended by something that we just don't understand. That's the stance that she's taking with this thing. Now, that's her stance, right? Let's pull up what the black women felt about this. Since she think this is a thing of black men. What do black women think about this? This is a black woman right here. She said, I don't know her, but hate her already. Doing way too much. That's a black woman. 845 people agree with that and liked it, co-signed it. But you said something about black men? Interesting. Lexi Television. That was rude. 2,200 likes, AKA cosigns. Sukiana, black woman. This was so mean of you. He came to support you and you just humiliated him in front of everybody. The woman under her said, who the F is she anyway? Yeah, let's go on and see if there's any other women out here that have something to say. Oh, this is another woman, another black woman. To make an announcement about it was rude as F. 758 likes on that puppy. Let me see how many people like the Suki one. 560 people like Suki's comment. Another black woman here. Yes, I remember people who grew up with me. We may have gained or lost a few pounds, but you still remember folks. Seriously, ma'am, not cool and certainly not funny. Reese 4. It's how you said it and gathered a crowd, repeated it loud, and wanted others to agree so that you can have a chuckle. So they can have a chuckle. It wasn't funny at all. He probably had a good memory to share. He mentioned other names that you might not remember them either, but you cut that off. It's difficult enough and sometimes takes courage approaching people publicly, and to be embarrassed like this probably put a damper on his spirits. I really don't understand the difference in one video that you posted in the other one. Okay, that last piece was because the blogs only cut the part where she was talking to just that man. So what she did was post the entire video on her page and say, here's more context. And it added absolutely no more context. It was the exact same video. It was the same thing. The interaction between her and that man was the exact same in what the blogs posted versus what she posted. The only thing she did was comment 100 times in the comments, replying to people with the same copy and pasted response, right? And I'm going to tell you what her response was. Here's another black woman that did not like what she said. She didn't have to put him out there like that. She could have just said, oh, I don't remember, but good to see you again. That was rude. 123 likes. This is Fawn. This is what Fawn's like copy and paste. She just kept on saying this over and over and over again in the comments. Here's what she kept saying. Erica, let me ask you this. You're walking into an event where hundreds have already been in line for over an hour. A person steps in front of you, stands inches from your face, doesn't say hello, doesn't smile. Would you feel comfortable in that moment? And if you're pretty certain that you never met that person before because you went through 3 different schools during that time frame, you're referencing from 35 years prior, which is the time frame being referenced, how do you think you would turn that awkward moment into something that's lighthearted? Here's my thing. Why do you keep calling it lighthearted? Yelling out to the crowd, hey, y'all, he said, man, I told him make it make sense. He said he knew me from the 7th grade. Ain't that something, y'all? It was really, when I was watching it, it felt like, when you watch a sitcom, and when you watch a sitcom and like the bully says something mean to one kid, and when the bully says something mean to one kid, and then they like show a whole crowd laughing and pointing at the person, and then the camera get real close up on the people's face that's laughing like ha ha ha, like that, pointing, and everybody's just dying laughing. That's what it seemed like that man went through in that situation. And not to say this is something that's just gonna make him like go hurt himself or nothing like that, but it seemed to me like she was purposely trying to get the entire crowd to laugh at him. So when she keep on calling it lighthearted, she means I was clowning him for doing what he did. She said, y'all, and he's serious. Are you serious? He's serious, y'all. Weirdo. I'm going to tell you something. The lady was off. I was off the lady. And I didn't say nothing. I didn't speak on her because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this person a chance to redeem themselves. This is when I was turned off. When she got in hot water for buying vacation property improperly with investment funds. When the whole thing was happening, they was trying to take the company from her and give it to the investment company, right? She turned me off back then because I realized that Uncle Nearest was selling the way it's selling is because she used her story and her social media presence to essentially coerce people into buying the product as some type of political statement to support a black woman in the whiskey business. Right. So not because this is a superior product or not because it's a good or not because people actually like the product as a whiskey drink, but because we are taking a stand against all these old white whiskey companies. So go empty the shelves out. And as your political stance, you go and buy Uncle Nearest, black person. Hey, Christmas is coming up. Go buy 4. Everybody go buy 4 bottles of Uncle Nearest and give it out to people. I don't care if you don't have, I don't care what's going on. If you thought about giving people something else, don't do it. Go buy whiskey and give them whiskey for Christmas. That rubs me the wrong way. I'm sorry. I'm just not with that. I'm not with that. I'm not with it. Not with it at all. Using your alcohol brand as a political statement, and I'm not just picking on her, right? I did a podcast episode about this like a year and a half ago where I talked about the I care about my people to here's my alcohol. black pipeline. I talked about that. Kevin Hart, Jay-Z, LeBron James, The Rock. I talked about it all. I talked about all these people. So I'm not just picking on her when I say that. This is how I feel, period, about all of these people who so-called are making some type of political statement for the black community. You're doing something for us, but it involves you selling us alcohol. Black people are the lowest consuming group of alcohol, lowest alcohol consuming group in America, but we have the highest incident rates with the law when we have alcohol in us, right? AKA, we have the most alcohol related incidents, but we have the lowest consumption rates of alcohol in this country, of all groups in this country, per capita, right? Yet these black people let these black celebrities become rich, and they go out, create alcohol companies, and then go like put all their resources into selling it to us. So anytime I see somebody trying to use buying alcohol or selling us alcohol as some type of political statement, it always turns me off 100% of the time. I hate it. I don't like seeing it at all. And the way she was doing it was like a little bit different. It was weirder because, as you can see, the way that her fans, like, why is anybody even a fan of an alcohol company's owner? Like, why would you be a fan of that? Like, why are you a fan of her? You should just say, like, oh, I like the liquor. But being a fan of her because she owns is different with, like, Beyonce with Sir Davis. You're a fan of Beyonce because she was a musician, but you're not a fan of her because she has Sir Davis. You see what I'm saying? It's two different things. Being a fan of this lady because she has a liquor company, because her great uncle was Uncle Nearest, and he taught, like, so the fact that she has fans, she's weaponizing her influence to get people to say, whether you like my alcohol or not, go buy it out. Clear the shelves. Now, of course, it's good to feel like you got that type of power where you can tell people to go buy out your stuff and it'll keep you enriched and all that type of stuff, right? But I don't like mixing politics and alcohol. I don't like it. That's not where we want to. If we want to make a political stance, let's not do it with alcohol. So she rubbed me wrong when she did that. And now to see how she interacts with people is weird. And I've been thought her personality was a little odd. Like the videos I see, they've been weird. You see what I'm saying? I have Uncle Nearest. So in my house right now. So it's not that I wasn't a supporter and I'm just critiquing the lady. I was supporting a whiskey brand, but I'm not just a fan of this lady. You see what I'm saying? I don't care to go meet her or nothing like that. And I really don't care to meet her now that I see that even people that she was in a crew with, she don't even remember these people at all and is willing to embarrass somebody when they're telling her, yo, we used to be part of the same crew. Me, you, Naheem, and Sharice. That was us. The pack, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They probably was nerds. The wolf pack, you know what I mean? Whatever they was called back then. The fact that she was down to yell out to everybody and really do them like Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Napoleon Dynamite. It was like real. It was real. It was very like 90s sitcom the way that it was like Doug Funny. It felt like Doug Funny, like where Roger might have said something about Doug and then everybody is just pointing at Doug and laughing. Or it felt like Ralphie on A Christmas Story when they're like, yo, shoot your eye out. When everybody's pointing at him and telling him he's going to shoot his eye out. That's what it seemed like to me. You understand? And like I said, the lady already rubbed me wrong, turning her alcohol into some type of political statement and her fans just blindly supporting it. I can't get with it. So I'm off of it. I'm going to stick with other whiskeys, and there's other black-owned whiskeys, so it's fine. I don't need to buy Uncle Nearest anymore until she get herself together. I'm not with it. Shout out to her, though, man. Hopefully she can figure herself out because I'm cool. I'm cool on that. Now, man, I went on a little rant. That was 30 minutes. Talked about that for 30 minutes. Now, do you guys mind if we talk about briefly, let's talk about Netflix and this Warner Brothers deal they're trying to make, because somebody just threw a wrench in that game. They just threw a wrench in that game completely. This says Warner Brothers fight heats up with $108 billion hostile bid from Paramount. Okay, I said Netflix because that was the setup. Netflix had emerged victorious on Friday from a weeks-long bidding war with Paramount and Comcast, securing a $72 billion equity deal for Warner Brothers Discovery TV, film studios, and streaming assets. But Paramount's latest attempt means the jockeying for Warner Brothers and its prized HBO and DC Comics assets will not come to a conclusion swiftly. Now, I read that because of the Netflix part, but let's go back. Paramount Skydance. My kids called me. Okay, Skydance on Monday launched a hostile bid worth $108 billion for Warner Brothers Discovery in a last-ditch effort to outbid Netflix and create a media powerhouse that would challenge the dominance of the streaming giant. Now, when I first seen that Netflix was going to buy Warner, I said, this is a monopoly. I have no idea how they're about to get this off. I don't know how this is going to get approved. But then when you see that there's other major players like this that are also able to bid and outbid Netflix, you really can't call it a monopoly at all now. Even if Netflix ends up coming back and winning the bid, you still can't call it a monopoly because Paramount and Comcast are big enough to go to a bidding war with Netflix. So that means Netflix does not have too much control or too much money or too much power over the industry that they could dominate everybody else. Okay. Clearly, even if Paramount does not win this bid, they will still have a lot of resources. Okay. Still have a lot of control over what they're doing, but Netflix will be a lot stronger if they do have access. Excuse me. Or if they do win that bid. Warner Brothers Discovery Board of Directors on Monday said it would review Paramount's offer, but was not modifying its recommendation with respect to Netflix. It advised the company to take no action at this time in regards to the Paramount Skydance proposal. Paramount's $30 per share cash offer includes financing from Affinity Partners, the investment firm run by Jared Kushner, interesting, U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law, and several Middle Eastern government-run investment funds, and is backstopped by the Ellison family. Larry Ellison, the world's second richest person, is the father of Paramount head David Ellison and has close ties to the White House. All right, this is heating up because I didn't realize what was going on here. I did not realize what was going on. This is interesting. Let me read that part again. Paramount's cash offer includes financing from Affinity Partners, the investment firm run by Jared Kushner, that's Donald Trump's son-in-law, and several Middle Eastern government-run investment funds, and is backstopped by the Ellison family. Larry Ellison is the founder of Oracle. Y'all probably seen Oracle, and whether you knew it or didn't know it, Oracle owns Java, the programming language, and Java is pretty much in everything business related. Java is running even when you don't think it's running. Java's in the background somewhere, keeping up everything. This is the family that owns that, okay? Java, you might have seen back in the day, you would see the little thing with the cup, and it looked like coffee, like steam coming off the top of the cup. That's Java. Larry Ellison and his family owns that, and then his son is the head of Paramount. So this is a powerful family, very powerful family, not just rich, but very powerful too. Larry Ellison called Trump after the Netflix deal was announced and told him that the transaction would hurt competition. See, this is what I mean about power, because that shouldn't be allowed either. That means y'all have too much power. If y'all could call a president and pretty much put a bug in his ear to, The Wall Street Journal reported, citing the White House official and a person familiar with the matter. The studio argues its bid for the entirety of Warner Brothers Discovery is superior to Netflix, giving shareholders $18 billion more in cash and is an easier path to regulatory approval. It said Paramount Warner Brothers combination, which would be among the largest media deals in history, would be in the best interest of the creative community, movie theaters, and consumers who would benefit from enhanced competition. We believe our offer will create a stronger Hollywood, Paramount CEO David Ellison said in a statement. Separately, he said Paramount's proposal offered higher headlining value, increased certainty in that value, greater regulatory certainty, and a pro-Hollywood, pro-consumer, and pro-competition future. This is heating up. Paramount's bid includes Warner Brothers Discovery cable television properties. Netflix bid is limited to the Warner Brothers Film and Television Studios, HBO, and the HBO Max streaming service. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because if that includes Discovery's properties, that means that Paramount is getting even more than Netflix would have got, yet somehow y'all are worried about competition. Paramount, they have like Viacom and all that type of stuff. And you know Viacom owns a whole, like half of cable. So y'all own half of cable networks and y'all own a major streaming platform. And now y'all going to own a major film studio that also owns the other half, pretty much one of the, not half, because Disney owns a lot, Discovery owns a lot, Viacom, Paramount owns a lot. So y'all are the major players in cable and you're about to own 2/3 of what's going on. right? So that's odd. Anyway, analysts noted that Paramount's offer comes with its own antitrust scrutiny as a consolidation of two major television operators. That's the same thing I just said. Okay. Last month, Democratic senators warned that such a transaction would result. My bad. And my kids keep trying to talk to me. I never know, because I normally record in my basement, they don't normally have access. But because I'm in my bedroom, you know what I'm saying, they can run up on me. Okay. And let me read this again. Analysts noted that Paramount's offer comes with its own antitrust scrutiny as a consolidation of two major television operators. Last month, Democratic senators warned that such a transaction would result in one company controlling almost everything America watches on TV. That's what I just said. Yep, facts. The combined studio would also have a greater market share than the current leader, Disney, and to add to fears of consolidation that have hit industry in recent years. The offer represents a 139% premium over the company's value from the before the buyout talk started and best Netflix $27.75 offer that mixes cash and stock. So because Netflix is looked at as like public enemy number one when it comes to media and entertainment and stuff like that, Paramount is using Netflix's reputation against them to create a real monopoly over the TV industry, all because Netflix has the bad reputation and everybody's willing to do anything to not let Netflix get bigger than they already are. Netflix is dominant in the streaming game, but Paramount would be extremely dominant in TV and pretty much dominate TV if they were allowed to get the deal like this. From Warner Brothers, Discovery Properties, and what Paramount already owns, that is too much control over cable television. They could essentially squeeze out everybody else, essentially their competition, Comcast, because Comcast also owns a major cable provider in different parts of the country. So if their biggest competitor becomes the people that own 2/3 of the channels that they are presenting or broadcasting, it could get very dark for Comcast, right? So let's keep reading. Let's see here. Kushner, Saudi's part of Paramount offer. At a UBS conference, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos, said Paramount's hostile bid for Warner Bros. Entirely expected, but added that he was confident of closing the deal. In the offer that Paramount was talking about today, the Ellisons were talking about $6 billion of synergies, said Sarandos. Where do you think synergies comes from? Cutting jobs. We're not cutting jobs. We're making jobs. If y'all are cutting $6 billion worth of jobs, that's a lot of jobs. That's a lot of jobs. In a regulatory filing, Paramount said that Ellison family, which owns Paramount, along with private equity firm Redbird Capital, had agreed to backstop $40 billion in equity capital. The offer also includes financing from Kushner's affinity partners, the Saudi and Qatari sovereign wealth funds, and El Imad Holding Co., owned by the government of Abu Dhabi. A Paramount Skydance Warner Brothers merger would be a 5-alarm antitrust fire and exactly what our anti-monopoly laws are written to prevent, U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat, said on Monday. The hostile bid is backed by who's who of Trump's buddies, raising serious questions about influence peddling, political favoritism, and national security risk. I agree. Paramount owning Warner Brothers is even a bigger issue than Netflix owning it. If Warner Brothers accepts Paramount's offer, it will have to pay Netflix a $2.8 billion breakup fee. Netflix, on its part, is on the hook for about $5.8 billion if the deal falls through. Okay. The streaming pioneer is likely to face strong antitrust scrutiny, and Trump has already raised questions about his offer. So it sounds kind of like to me that they should probably block all these deals from happening. They probably shouldn't let anybody that's currently in the TV space purchase Warner Brothers, because these other companies are already too big to purchase something that big for it not to be a monopoly. On Monday, Trump said neither bidding party are friends of mine. He wanted to do what's right. He added that he has not spoken to Kushner about the Paramount bid. Netflix's bid has already drawn sharp criticism from bipartisan lawmakers and Hollywood unions over concerns that it could lead to job cuts as well as higher prices for customers. While it is perhaps a sad commentary on the U.S. that Paramount thinks its closeness to the occupant of the Oval Office will help seal the deal, it is merely doing what it can to steal a march on its rival, said Chris Beauchamp, chief market analyst at UK-based IG Group. Shares of Paramount were up 7.3% on Monday. Warner Brothers Discovery rose 5.3%, while Netflix shares fell 4%. Twist and turns, the last part. Twist and turns. Reuters had already reported, citing sources familiar, that Paramount had raised its offer to $30 per share on Thursday for the entire company, but that the Warner Brothers board had concerns about the financing. The Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition is far from over, said eMarketer senior analyst Ross Beans, or Benes? Beans, I don't know. Paramount will appeal to shareholders, regulators, and politicians to try to stymie Netflix. The battle could become prolonged. Paramount maintained that it would be a champion of Hollywood and its talent, would remain committed to releasing movies in theaters, and that its path to regulatory approval would be faster than Netflix. In its appeal to shareholders, Paramount said it submitted six proposals over the course of 12 weeks, but Warner Brothers never engaged meaningfully with these proposals. The company said it sent a letter to Warner Brothers questioning the sale process and alleging the company has abandoned a fair bidding process, predetermined Netflix as the winner. Oh, this is interesting. That followed reports that Warner Brothers management called the Netflix deal a slam dunk while speaking negatively about Paramount's offer. In an interview with CNBC on Monday, David Ellison said there was an inherent bias in the bidding. Okay. I could see some things here. This is what I'm thinking. Right here with this one. What I think happens is the reason that these other networks, Paramount and Comcast, are afraid of Netflix getting Warner, it's not a cable threat. They're a threat to, they already dominate streaming. They don't want them to have a foothold in streaming and a studio that goes to theaters. Because if Netflix has a pipeline in the theaters as well as dominating the streaming game, it's game over for everybody else. Because the biggest knock on Netflix is that they don't do theater work. They don't do too much with the theaters, right? They just tested K-pop Demon Hunter in the theater. All the kids went to go see it. It was a big success, and they already seen it. K-pop Demon Hunter been out for months. All the kids already seen it on Netflix, yet they still went to the movie theaters to watch it. That is very scary to all these other companies, because now if they get a company like Warner that owns HBO, now we have all these movies that have already traditionally, or we have a company now that traditionally produces movies that have a pipeline into the movie theater system. We can start funneling our movies from Netflix over to theaters, and it'd be like it's just a pipeline. Pipelines and processes and automations, that's the way forward. If you take a company like Netflix and you put them in a pipeline like that, it's scary for a lot of other people. It'll make fans or make consumers feel like, I don't even need anything else but Netflix. Now I definitely don't need Netflix. I might get discounts when I go to the theater now. When I go see this movie that's been produced by Warner Brothers, I might get a discount when I go see him. By the way, Warner Brothers started in my hometown, Youngstown, Ohio. Shout out to the Warner Brothers. Started in my hometown back in like 1915. Anyway, Netflix is a scary thing for these companies, and it's even scarier to Paramount that Warner Brothers doesn't even seem to be considering the Paramount deal seriously. And that's why they had to come with an offer that was so much higher than Netflix, because they need to put the SEC, the FTC, and shareholders on notice. If they don't take this offer, they are not doing what's in the best interest of the shareholders, and this is a problem. This needs to spark an investigation. We're in antitrust territory here. Right? So shout out to all these companies. This is a bidding war right here. This is a bidding war. I don't even think Paramount wants Warner Brothers that bad. I think they're trying to make sure Netflix doesn't get it. That's the thing. They want to make sure Netflix doesn't get it. This is weird, right? I'm going to tell you, I got a light right here, and it's weird because I'm looking at my camera in a different place now because I got the screen here, two computer monitors right here. I keep looking at my Netflix, like the word Nikon above the camera lens instead of just looking directly into the lens. So if I look cockeyed, it's because I'm looking at something other than the lens. It's weird because the light is making me do it. But anyway, I love a good business bidding war like this. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Y'all let me know your thoughts below, please, in the comments. I do want to hear what y'all have to say about this. I have some DIY projects coming up soon. I'm going to make content on that, so y'all be ready for that too. That's coming back. Please make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment your thoughts below. Make sure you share the video. And if you have time, please go to the description box. Hit the link for the survey. Let me know your thoughts, what you want to see. Let me know shirt sizes. I might do a giveaway again very soon just for the good people that support. So I appreciate y'all, man. My kids is in the background yelling. Y'all probably can't hear them, but I got to go put them to bed. Peace. Peace. We out of here.